You're 42, you're pregnant, and you just Googled pregnancy after 40. Now you're staring at phrases like geriatric pregnancy, high risk, and advanced maternal age. And suddenly, what should feel like joyful news feels wrapped in warning labels. You're thrilled, but you're also terrified. And nobody seems to be talking honestly about what this journey actually looks like. Here's what nobody tells you. Pregnancy after 40 is different, but different doesn't mean worse. And it certainly doesn't mean doomed. You're not alone in feeling like the medical establishment is simultaneously monitoring you obsessively while giving you very little practical guidance about what to actually expect. If you're ready for the honest conversation about pregnancy after 40 that you've been searching for, subscribe now for more pregnancy health content that cuts through the fear and gives you real information. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 9 realities of pregnancy after 40 that get glossed over, sugar-coated, or whispered about in hushed tones. We're talking about the physical truths, the emotional complexity, the medical realities, and most importantly, the genuine advantages you bring to motherhood that have nothing to do with your age. Let's get into it. The fatigue is real, and it hits differently. First trimester exhaustion after 40 isn't just tiredness. It's bone-deep depletion. Your body's metabolic response to pregnancy hormones is more intense when you're older, and recovery capacity genuinely decreases with age. When progesterone floods your system, your body has to work harder to process it. Your mitochondrial function isn't what it was at 25. Your sleep quality has likely already declined. Now add pregnancy hormones on top of that foundation. But here's what matters. This doesn't mean you can't do this. It means you need different strategies. Prioritizing rest isn't weakness. It's physiological necessity. Sleep hygiene becomes critical. Strategic napping isn't lazy. It's smart. Saying no to obligations isn't selfish. It's self-care. Asking for help isn't admitting defeat. It's acknowledging reality. You're not failing because you need more rest than you expected. Your body is doing something extraordinary and requires the fuel to do it. Give yourself permission to operate differently than you did in your 20s or 30s. This is adaptation, not weakness. You'll be monitored more, and that's actually good. After 35, you enter the advanced maternal age category. This triggers increased monitoring, more ultrasounds, additional genetic testing, and closer observation. You'll have appointments that feel excessive. You'll undergo tests that make you anxious. You'll be asked questions about risk factors constantly. This feels overwhelming and sometimes frightening, but reframe it. You have access to more information than any previous generation of pregnant women. You get earlier detection of potential concerns. You receive proactive management instead of reactive crisis care. Additional monitoring isn't because something is wrong. It's preventive medicine. You'll likely have growth scans to ensure baby is developing appropriately. You'll have non-stress tests to check baby's heart rate patterns. You'll possibly have more frequent appointments in your 3rd trimester. Your provider isn't worried because disaster is inevitable. They're watchful because prevention works. Every ultrasound gives you information. Every test helps optimize outcomes. Every extra appointment means someone is paying attention. This isn't medical anxiety. It's medical advantage. You're not being treated like you're fragile. You're being treated like you're valuable enough to monitor carefully. Hormone responses can be more intense. Progesterone, HCG, relaxin, and estrogen surge during pregnancy at any age. But when you're over 40, your body's regulatory systems respond differently. Morning sickness might be more severe. You might vomit more frequently or feel nauseous longer into your day. Mood swings might be more pronounced. You might cry at commercials, snap at your partner, then feel overwhelming love 10 minutes later. Physical symptoms like joint laxity might be more noticeable. Your hips might feel looser earlier. Your wrists might ache in ways you didn't anticipate. This happens because hormone receptors become more sensitive with age. Your body isn't worse at pregnancy. It's responding from a different hormonal baseline. Think of it like this. If you've been drinking coffee for 20 years, you need more to feel the same effect. But if you quit for a while and then restart, that first cup hits hard. Your hormone receptors have been in a different state, so when pregnancy hormones arrive, the response is amplified. Understanding this helps you anticipate and manage symptoms rather than wondering why you feel disproportionately affected. You're not overreacting. Your body is reacting appropriately to its unique hormonal landscape. The emotional complexity is unspoken. Pregnancy after 40 comes loaded with emotional nuance that younger mothers simply don't carry. You're acutely aware of statistics. You know about risks and complications. You've read the research. You've seen the numbers. You may have experienced loss, infertility, or years of waiting. You know firsthand that positive pregnancy tests don't always lead to healthy babies. You're navigating joy tinged with hypervigilance. You're excited but protectively anxious. You might feel simultaneously grateful and guilty. Grateful for this opportunity, guilty for worrying when you should feel purely happy. You might feel blessed and terrified in the same moment. This emotional complexity isn't negativity. It's the depth that comes with the life experience. You're not overthinking. You're processing appropriately. Younger mothers might experience blissful ignorance. You experience informed awareness. That awareness sometimes feels heavy, but it also means you don't take a single moment for granted. You notice every flutter. You appreciate every milestone. You understand the magnitude of what's happening. This isn't baggage, it's context. And it makes you more present, more grateful, and more connected to this experience than you might have been at 25. Your fertility journey was likely longer, and that's normal. Whether you conceived naturally after extended trying, used IVF, needed multiple rounds of fertility treatment, or navigated recurrent loss before this pregnancy, you're in the majority, not the minority. After 40, only about 5% of women conceive naturally each month. That's 1 in 20 cycles. Most women in this age group have a story behind their positive test. You're not unusual because it took time. You're typical. This journey shapes your pregnancy experience. It often makes you more cautious. You might hesitate to announce your pregnancy early. You might struggle to bond initially, protecting yourself from potential loss. You might feel more appreciative. Every symptom becomes proof that pregnancy is continuing. Every ultrasound feels like crossing another hurdle. You might experience more anxiety. You've learned that things can go wrong, so you monitor closely for any sign of concern. That's not baggage. That's lived experience informing your perspective. Your journey to this pregnancy is part of who you are as a mother. It doesn't diminish your joy. It deepens your awareness of how precious this is. Recovery takes longer, so plan accordingly. Postpartum recovery after 40 follows a different timeline. Tissue elasticity decreases with age. Your skin, muscles, and connective tissue don't bounce back as quickly. Muscle tone recovery takes longer. Your abdominal muscles have been stretched, and they need more time to regain strength. Hormone rebalancing happens more slowly. Your body takes longer to return to pre-pregnancy hormone levels. Sleep deprivation hits harder. Your body's resilience to sleep disruption isn't what it was at 25. This isn't failure, it's physiology. Planning for extended help isn't pessimistic, it's strategic. And line up support for at least 6 to 8 weeks postpartum, not just 2. Lower your expectations for those early weeks. You're not going to bounce back in days. That's not realistic at any age, but especially not after 40. Consider longer maternity leave if possible. Your body needs time to heal, and your mind needs time to adjust. Your body did something extraordinary. It grew a human while managing age-related physiological differences. In giving it adequate time to heal is respecting that accomplishment, not admitting weakness. Your risk profile changes, but context matters. Yes, after 40, risks increase for certain complications. Gestational diabetes rates rise. Preeclampsia becomes more common. Placental issues occur more frequently. Chromosomal variations have higher incidence. These are facts, and your provider will discuss them with you. But here's critical context that often gets lost. Increased risk often means going from 1% to 3%. You're still 97% likely to not have that complication. Going from a 0.5% to 2% means 98% of women won't experience it. With proper monitoring and management, outcomes are excellent. Your healthcare provider isn't worried because negative outcomes are inevitable. They're watchful because prevention and early intervention work. And understanding actual numbers versus relative risk changes anxiety dramatically. When someone says risk doubles, find out what the actual percentages are. Doubling from 0.5% to 1% is very different from your brain's catastrophic interpretation of doubled risk. You deserve information with context, not fear-mongering statistics designed to terrify you. You bring irreplaceable advantages. You have financial stability that younger mothers often lack. You've paid off student loans, you've built savings, you own your home or have stable housing, you've established your career, you've proven yourself professionally. You can take maternity leave without derailing everything you've built. You know yourself. You understand your needs, your boundaries, and your values. You've done the personal growth work. You have relationship maturity. You've learned how to communicate, compromise, and maintain partnership through challenges. You possess emotional regulation skills. You don't spiral as easily. You have coping mechanisms and perspective. You bring life experience that fundamentally changes parenting. You've weathered difficulties. You've built resilience. You understand that perfection is impossible, and good enough is actually good. You're less likely to lose yourself in motherhood because you already know who you are. You parent from security, not desperation. You make decisions from wisdom, not impulse. These aren't consolation prizes for being older. They're genuine advantages that improve your parenting and your child's experience of being parented. Your age isn't a liability. It's an asset. Your medical team should feel like partners. If your provider uses fear-based language constantly, find someone else. If they dismiss your concerns as normal for your age, without explanation, that's not acceptable care. If they make you feel risky rather than supported, you deserve better. You need care that acknowledges age-related realities while treating you as capable and informed. Ask questions about everything. Request explanations for every test recommended. Understand why each intervention is being suggested. What are they looking for? What will they do with the information? What happens if results are abnormal? Expect collaborative decision-making. You're not a passive recipient of care. You're an active participant in your healthcare. Your age doesn't make you fragile. It makes you experienced enough to advocate effectively for yourself and your baby. A good provider welcomes your questions. They explain thoroughly. They treat your concerns seriously. They celebrate your pregnancy while managing medical realities. If your current provider doesn't do this, you have time to find someone who does. Your relationship with your care team dramatically affects your pregnancy experience. Choose wisely. Here's what this all comes down to. And pregnancy after 40 is a journey that requires honest information, not fear-mongering. It demands acknowledgement of physiological realities balanced with celebration of the incredible strengths you bring. You're not doing this despite your age. You're doing this with all the wisdom, stability, and self-knowledge your age has given you. Different doesn't mean worse. Informed doesn't mean frightened. And being monitored closely doesn't mean something's wrong. It means you're receiving excellent, proactive care. You've got this. Your body is capable. Your experience is valuable. And your baby is incredibly lucky to have a mother who brings decades of life wisdom to parenthood. Embrace what makes your pregnancy unique, advocate for what you need, and trust that you are exactly the right age to be this baby's mother.